Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our space where we share real stories that touch the heart. Today, we have a special story for you, one that's written on the back of this greeting card. It's about resilience, the strength of human connection, and the everyday challenges we all face. In this true story, we'll explore the journey of someone who overcame obstacles and found hope in the most unexpected places. It's a reminder that even in our struggles, we can find inspiration and support from those around us. So, come with us as we dive into today's real-life story. And before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story. Thank you for being here, and let's get started.
Chapter 1. The Cracks Begin to Show. In the small town of Willow Creek, where the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink every evening, lived a couple whose love story seemed perfect on the surface. Emily, with her cascading chestnut hair and bright green eyes, was the envy of many. Her husband, David, was a hard-working man, often seen with tired eyes and calloused hands from long hours at the construction site. One evening, as David returned home, he found Emily sitting on the porch, her beauty illuminated by the fading sunlight. She looked up, her smile warm yet distant. "Hey, love," David greeted, dropping his worn toolbox by the door. "How was your day?" "It was fine," Emily replied, her voice lacking its usual enthusiasm. "I went to the market and met some friends." David nodded, sensing a shift in the air. "Did you see Sarah? I heard she's back in town." "Yes, she's back," Emily said, her gaze drifting to the horizon. "She's doing well." As the days turned into weeks, David noticed Emily spending more time away from home. She would often return late, her laughter echoing in the house like a ghost of the joy they once shared. David, exhausted from work, brushed off his concerns, convincing himself that she was simply busy with friends. Chapter 2. The Unraveling. One rainy afternoon, David returned home early, hoping to surprise Emily with a cozy dinner. As he entered, he noticed her phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. Curiosity piqued, he glanced at the screen. A message from a contact named Jake read, "Can't wait to see you tonight." His heart sank. David felt a storm brewing within him, a mix of anger and betrayal. He decided to confront Emily. "Emily, can we talk?" he asked, his voice steady, despite the turmoil inside. "Of course, David. What's wrong?" she replied, her eyes wide with concern. "I saw a message on your phone. Who is Jake?" he asked, trying to keep his tone calm. Emily's face paled. "He's just a friend from the gym. We've been working out together." "Just a friend?" David echoed, disbelief creeping into his voice. "You've been spending a lot of time with him." "David, you're overreacting. I need to have a life outside of work," she snapped, frustration evident in her tone. David felt the weight of her words. "I work hard for us, Emily. I thought we were building a life together." "I know you do, but sometimes it feels like you're more married to your job than to me," she shot back, her voice rising. David's heart sank. "Is that what you think? That I don't care about you?" Chapter 3. The Betrayal. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between them grew. David's heart ached with the thought of losing Emily, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. One evening, he decided to follow her after she claimed she was going to the gym. As he trailed her through the streets, his heart raced. He watched as she entered a cafe, and to his horror, he saw Jake waiting for her inside. They laughed, their chemistry palpable, and David felt his world shatter. That night, David confronted Emily again. "I saw you with Jake. You're lying to me." Emily's expression hardened. "You don't trust me, David. Maybe you should take a look in the mirror and see how you've changed." changed? I'm trying to provide for us," he shouted, his voice breaking. "By working all the time and ignoring me, I need more than just a paycheck," she retorted, tears streaming down her face. David felt the pain of her words cut deep. "I'm doing this for us, Emily. I thought you understood that." "Maybe I don't understand what we are anymore," she whispered, her voice trembling. Chapter 4: The Choice. The days that followed were filled with silence and resentment. David, heartbroken, threw himself into work, while Emily sought solace in her friendship with Jake. But as the weeks passed, Emily began to realize the emptiness of her choices. She missed the warmth of David's embrace, the laughter they once shared, and the life they had built together. One evening, she returned home to find David sitting on the couch, his face buried in his hands. "David," she whispered, her heart aching. "Can we talk?" He looked up, his eyes weary but still filled with love. "What is there to say, Emily?" "I made a mistake," she admitted, her voice trembling. "I let my insecurities drive me away from you. I thought I needed excitement, but I realize now that I need you." David's heart softened, but the pain of betrayal lingered. "Emily, trust is hard to rebuild." "I know," she replied, tears streaming down her cheeks. "But I want to try. I want to fight for us." "Do you really mean that?" David asked, searching her eyes for sincerity. "Yes," she said, her voice steady. "I want to be the wife you deserve." Chapter 5: The Healing. Over the next few months, Emily and David worked tirelessly to mend their relationship. They attended counseling, communicated openly, and slowly began to rebuild the trust that had been shattered. Emily learned to appreciate the simple joys of life, while David found ways to balance work and home. One evening, as they sat together on the porch, Emily turned to David. "You know, I've been painting again. It helps me clear my mind." "Really, I'd love to see your work," David replied, a smile breaking across his face. "You always had a talent for it." "I've been trying to express how I feel," she said, her voice soft. "It's therapeutic." "Maybe we can paint together sometime," David suggested, his eyes twinkling. "I could use a new hobby," Emily chuckled. "You? Painting? I can't wait to see that." As they laughed together, the warmth of their connection began to rekindle. But as they navigated the rocky terrain of their relationship, Emily found herself struggling with her feelings. Despite her efforts, the allure of Jake lingered in her mind. One evening, she received a text from him, asking if she wanted to meet. Torn between her past and her commitment to David, she felt a wave of confusion wash over her. "David," she said one night, her voice shaking, "I don't know if I can do this. I still think about Jake." David's heart sank. "Emily, I thought we were moving forward. I thought you wanted this." "I do want us, but I'm scared," she confessed, her eyes filled with tears. "I don't want to hurt you again." "Then let's face this together," David urged, reaching for her hand. "We can talk about it. I want to understand." Chapter 6: The Breaking Point. The tension reached a breaking point when David found out that Emily had met Jake again. He felt betrayed all over again, the pain cutting deeper than before. "How could you do this to me?" he shouted, his voice echoing in the empty house. "I'm sorry, I thought I could handle it," Emily cried, her voice breaking. "I thought I could find closure." "Closure? You're still holding on to something that hurt us both," David exclaimed, his heart heavy with disappointment. Emily fell silent, the weight of her choices crashing down on her. "I don't know what to do, David. I love you, but I'm lost." David took a deep breath, his heart aching for the woman he loved. Maybe you need to find yourself first before we can find us again." "Do you really think that's what I need?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I think you need to figure out what you truly want," he replied gently, "and I need to protect my heart too." Chapter 7: The Departure. With a heavy heart, Emily made the difficult decision to leave Willow Creek for a while. She needed space to reflect on her choices and what she truly wanted. David watched her go, a mix of sadness and hope swirling within him. He knew that sometimes love meant letting go. As Emily traveled to a nearby city, she spent time alone, exploring art galleries and parks, trying to reconnect with herself. She began journaling her thoughts, pouring out her feelings of confusion, regret, and longing. In her solitude, she discovered a passion for painting, using it as an outlet for her emotions. Meanwhile, David focused on his work and self-care. He spent time with friends, rediscovered his hobbies, and even took up cooking. One evening, he invited his friend Mark over for dinner. "Wow, David, this is impressive," Mark said, eyeing the spread on the table. "You've really stepped up your game." "Thanks, man, I've had a lot of time to think," David replied, stirring the pasta. "It's been tough without Emily, but I'm trying to find my footing." "Have you heard from her?" Mark asked, concern etched on his face. "Not since she left," David admitted, his voice heavy. "But I hope she's finding what she needs." Chapter 8: The Return. Months later, Emily returned to Willow Creek, transformed. She had spent time reflecting on her choices and had come to terms with her mistakes. She had learned that true happiness comes from within, and that she needed to be whole